just shortly going to show you the roadmap. This is just an example of how we have done it. I don't say it's the right way, but this is how we have done it. Now, we started to do, we did have a international strategy, but it was a little bit more mumbo jumbo, not so concrete before in 2016. But then we applied for the Erasmus Mobility Charter, and therefore we also had to make a strategy. So what we did was that we formed a strategy group. So it was me, Manager of International Affairs. Then we also had our 3 international coordinators in the group. They all work as teachers also in different vet fields in VAMIA. We had 2 vocational teachers, one from Department of Technique and one from Hospitality. We had 1 study counselor presenting social and health care. Then we had 2 department managers, because we also wanted to have people from the management group. We have one vice principal, and we have had the development manager to do the strategy. And I found that this was quite important in order to get the management to actually, get involved in this work, and to get to understand why and how and for whom and so on. So what we did was, first we formed the strategy group. Then we analyzed the operating environment and all the different steering documents that we have. So all these steps we're going to go through in a moment, just to have a look at a little bit more. Then we determined the objective of the strategy and the international work in VAMIA altogether. How we would reach this goal, what our success factors are. Then it was very important what we were thinking a lot, how are we going to present the strategy? Then when we had made a draft of the strategy, we had feedback from the city of Vaasa, which is the largest employer in the region, and also of Vaasa Entrepreneurs Association in a face-to-face meeting. Then we were stating the meters. Then we presented it for the management group and did some amendments, got approval of the management group, and then finally it went to the board to get confirmed there. It sounds like a very complicated and long way to do it, but it helped us in many situations, because these people have actually approved it and also felt that they've been a part of it. But anyway, first, the analysis of the operating environment and the steering document. So here, of course, we first had the strategies of the school, the strategy of Vaasa, EU education and training in 2020. This was the steering document then from the Commission. I would say that this same, the steering document now would probably be the new skills agenda that came in June last year. Then we have the strategy of the region of Ostrobothnia. Then we have the whole global operating environment that we work within in our area. Then we have all the vocational qualification requirements of Finland, the government program, and then the needs of the local working life. So that's basically what we have taken into account. And step 2 then was to determine the overall objective of our international strategy. And first of all, we had one for upper secondary vocational education in Vasa, which we did 2016. But then in 2017, we merged. So youth education, adult education, and apprenticeship office became VAMIA. Yeah. So then we had to change the strategy a little bit, but we didn't have to do it that much because it was only the youth side that actually had some international activities beforehand. So when we were going through this, after the new organization was formed, they were quite happy to jump on with this one. Then we started to think about how we're going to reach this goal. And what our goal was, that we want to produce staff for the global working life that can manage in a global world. So what we wanted to have was a competent labor force, and we decided that these are the areas we're going to concentrate on: ECVET and competence-based education, versatile possibilities for internationalization on different levels, so both for students and staff, multilingualism, education professionals and students from abroad, how we actually can benefit from them, genuine and high quality partnership and networking. Here we were thinking of education export as an enabler, quality, sustainable development, close collaboration with working life, and competent staff. And what we then did was, so we had the objective, we had what our strategy is based on, then we had our success factors, and then we decided to build it in the same way as the city of Vasa. So for each success factor, we have objectives, we have key indicators, and we also have measures. Then we got a new strategy for VAMIA in 2020, and this we were quite happy about in VAMIA because internationalization was growing here, and you can clearly see it in the overall strategy for VAMIA. And at the same time, the city of Vasa also made an international program for the whole city. And I had the possibility to sit in the development group for that. So it really gave, I can say that it's an international coordinator and manager's dream, you know, to get in a team like that, because I could really see how it would benefit, you know, VAMIA, and I could affect a lot when they were doing that program. So we got the new all-over strategy in 2020, and that also meant that we needed to update our international strategy. We didn't start from scratch. We improved it to and changed things that we thought was important. For example, here in the objective, previously we were talking about internationalization, and now we changed it to global because we thought that we cannot just talk about the international world anymore. We need to talk about a global society and so on. We had a work group again updating this, but it was not as many people in it as before. But we had it to the management team several times and got feedback and approval from there. Then again, we updated and went through all the steering documents and so on that that actually steering us, because these strategies like Vasa strategies and strategy of region of Ostrobotnia had changed, and also the needs of working life and global operating environment and so on had changed. And then also the national qualification requirements had changed in Finland. And then we decided, or we thought, that our priority points were quite good, but we wanted to update them. So what we did was that we just added things in to this, and we actually developed the content of these, and that's the ones that you see in the yellow box here. For example, digitalization and virtual international cooperation has been added into this one. Also, that it's included in all students' introduction studies. It's included about the possibilities of internationalization and what internationalization is, and so on. With the multilingualism, we also added different type of learning environments. We only participate with networks and projects that support our strategy. And here, we really added a lot. In the first strategy, we only had global education or export here. But here we really wanted to use this for promoting attractiveness. And we also took a lot of new Erasmus program and possibilities that we put in here. And that meant that when we got asked to join a VET Center of Excellence, I could almost tell them directly that yes, we will do it, because we had already done a strategic choice that this is a strategic goal for us to do this. Then for the quality, we added lean, because we work a lot with lean methodology, so we have added that to quality. Into responsibility and sustainability, we had added the green Erasmus, and also inclusion, and close collaboration with working life. Here we like to put that it's not only us who benefit from working life, but also the other way around. And for skilled staff, we had the digitalization support and equipment that we have added into this part. Also, for the new strategy, all the objectives, the key indicators and measures have been updated, and especially because of the new normal. We also have updated it now, and we'll also update constantly because of COVID. There is a lot of new things that's come in that we need to take into consideration. And how are we then measuring that we have met our goals? Now, in the end of each academic year, we evaluate this with the international team and also choose goals for the following year. We have management review 2 times a year, and also decide with the management team for new goals from the strategy, or if there is something else we would like to add. Then we use the mobility tool reports to evaluate. and of course have a discussion on return from mobility, both with students and staff. And then we use project interim and final reports for the evaluation. And then this is also discussed with all the staff in the staff development discussion. We have actually put it in there that all management has to discuss this with their staff in the development discussion. We have different staff questionnaires and discussions in meeting and evening school and team meetings. We have actually put a certain time, because internationalization will not be in the management board's meeting, you know, every time they have a meeting, and not in the staff meetings either. But we have put a certain amount of times that it's fixed, you know, that here internationalization has to be considered, so it won't be forgotten. And then, of course, quantitative figures from internal and national statistics, and also statistics from our product cards and student administration system. And then we really like to check the synergy possibilities with our national projects continuously. Before, our national projects and international projects used to be quite, you know, apart from each other. But now we are constantly, you know, checking how we could get synergy between the national and international projects. And still one area of for development that we have is peer reviews. And this is what has changed along when we have had international strategy work. I'm not going to go through this, but I can just say that there hasn't been anything else than benefits. And from that, we started to use a strategy. We have developed so much. And I find that the strategy is made in the way that it really works. It's not just a document, it's actually a tool for us to use the whole time to see that we do the right things and that we can measure what we are doing.